Welcome back to Ask the Governor from Radio PA and PAMatters.com. I'm Brad Chrisman with Rachel McDevitt of Radio PA and, of course, Governor Tom Wolf. We've come to the point in our program where we offer up listener and web viewer emails. These were submitted by folks by going to PAMatters.com, clicking the Ask the Governor link at the top of the page, and then filling out a brief form with their question. We had an email server change within the last month or two here at the parent company, and we had lost some emails. Not lost, they were temporarily unavailable to us. That's why this month we're going to do two segments of listener emails, because a lot of those came flooding in, and then I felt bad because people have been waiting maybe 2 months to get their questions on the air.
Your listeners, do we all hear an apology there?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I do.
Yeah, just asking. Okay.
I'm a
we didn't
big
switch the
boy.
emails ourselves.
That's right. It wasn't our
We're
fault.
not the IT.
Yeah. We'll throw our IT people under the bus at this point, though. Okay. So that being said, I also want to point out that the emails come directly to me first. I decide which ones get on the air, and we do forward the emails to the governor's office so that the proper research can go into getting the answers you need. Governor, we start with John in Shrewsbury Township down in York County. He writes in, Dear Governor Wolf, your recent budget item regarding a tax on state police coverage prompts my concern. Not too long ago, we had a question for the police. It was not an emergency, so we decided to drop into the state police barracks in Loganville, York County. We were shocked to discover a bulletproof barrier of one-way glass between us and whomever was behind the barrier. That person came across as curt and uncaring to our questions. This troubles me and does not sound like best practices for community policing. On top of that, the recent news release of years of state police testing cheating scandal comes into question here if state police officers working now are fully qualified. Are they? When I think of a police station, I envision the TV show Barney Miller. May I suggest you visit there and experience it for yourself, and now we're being asked to pay extra for this. A lot of stuff in there, including a Barney Miller reference, which I love because that was a great TV show. But let's start with your proposal. It's a $25 per capita tax, which would be assessed to the municipalities. So the municipalities would be paying $25 per person in their locale.
Well, that's if they choose to have state police coverage rather than have their own
local force.
So Barney Miller was a local police.
That's right.
Officer and paid for by the tax dollars at that point of the folks in New York City, I guess. There are a number of municipalities in Pennsylvania who have chosen not to have their own police force and don't want to bear the expense. And in the past, that was a pretty easy decision to make because the state police, the Pennsylvania, did not charge those municipalities anything for the police coverage. So, if you were a municipal official, you could say, well, here's my alternative. I can pay for a police force, or I can have coverage from the state police for free. I think I'm going to go and have free police coverage. So I personally live in a town that is part of a regional police force. It's part of the taxes that I pay. And so I'm also paying for state police coverage for people in municipalities who don't have that coverage.
And there are some of those townships and municipalities that had police forces and dropped them, and then chose to go
because they could get
it was there.
Free because it was there. They could get free coverage. So this is an attempt to say that's fine. Have police coverage from the state police. But there is nothing's free. And what has happened, unfortunately, because there hasn't been a charge attached to this, as more and more municipalities have done this, the money each year comes out of the fund that is supposed to pay for bridges and roads. That Act 89 was to have funds that go to pay for the roads and bridges, including their safety. And which is why some of the state police payment has come out of that. But over the years, and this started before I got back, the money was coming out of that fund for state police, and to make up the fact that there's more of a call for state police coverage. more and more money was being taken out of roads and bridges to pay for this. So this is an attempt to redress that imbalance and say, listen, you want this, that's your choice, but we can't give it for free.
Anything about John's concerns about what he experienced at Loganville?
Yeah, that's a concern. I mean, I'm trying to make sure that every interaction that any citizen has with the Commonwealth, whatever department, is a pleasant one. And I'm sorry to hear that John didn't have a pleasant experience. Most of the I would think, if not all of the folks who work for state government are doing their best to try to make sure that the interaction is a pleasant one. So, and he mentioned the training. You know, we spend a lot of time on training. I know we can do a better job there, and we are doing a better job, working to do a better job. So I take John's critique to heart, and it's not just a matter of the service and how much you pay for it, but it's whatever the payment and whatever the service, it has to be a good service.